So I hope recording is going. So let's start. So I just wanted to record this, let's say, tutorial for 7th grade students. This is the first one for 7th grade. 7th grade. So in this quarter, we have covered functions, how to draw their graphs, domain, range, how to find the function value, and etc. So I have done a mini plan. We'll be going through this one. So first, finding the function value. What is that? So let's imagine we are given a function. Our function is, I want to take quadratic one, 2x squared minus 7x plus 3. So this is my function. So I have to find the function value. What is that? I am asked to find f of minus 2 plus f of 3. So f of minus 2 plus f of 3. So as you know, f of x is actually our y. So the value of y is actually f of x. So I need to find the y value. I was given x. So the first x is minus 2. The second one is just positive 3. First, let's find f of minus 2. As you can see, instead of x, inside the brackets, I have negative 2. So I'm going to put the value of negative 2 in, I'm going to put the value of negative 2 to the place of x. So minus 7 multiplied by minus 2 plus 3. So I'm just putting this value instead of this x. So 2 multiplied by minus 2 squared is just 4. Minus 7 multiplied by minus 2 is minus 14, negative. Negative sign here in front, and this is negative 14. Two negative signs gives us plus sign. 8 plus this is 17, and that is 25. So now I'm gonna find f of 3 now. So I'm just putting 3 instead of x, minus 7 multiplied by 3 plus 3. 2 multiplied by 3 squared is just 9 minus 21 plus 3 equals to 14 minus 21 plus 3, right? Not 14, 18. 18. So 18 plus negative 3 plus, so it gives me just 0. Because 18 minus 21 is negative 3, negative 3 plus positive 3 is just 0. So my f of minus 2 plus f of 3 equals to f of minus 2 is 25 plus f of 3 is 0, and it gives me 25. So the value of this function at negative 2 plus at 3 equals to 25. So this is a way how you solve this type of questions. Next. So this is all. Next, how to find the value of function, finding function value from a graph. So I'm gonna just draw some graph. Let's say I'm just getting a random graph, x, y. So this is a random graph. And imagine my graph passes through this point, and this point. So I'm gonna just draw something like this. Something like this, right? So this is 1, 2, 1, 2, negative 1, negative 2, negative 1, negative 2. Yep, 3, 4, 5, etc. So, for example, if someone asks me to find 3 multiplied by f of minus 2 plus f of 2 divided by f of negative 1, oops. I hope the video is recording. So if someone asks me to find the value of this expression, let's say 3, okay, but I don't know the value of f of negative 2. As you know, I have already explained to you in the classroom that f of x gives me the value of y. So these three are just values of y. So they are y. So the first one, my first x is -2. -2 is here, yeah? We are along the x-axis. -2 is here, and my value of y at this point, yeah, at this point, where the graph is passing is this point. This point. At -2, my graph passes through this point. So the value of y of this point is just 1. So f of -2 is just 1. Plus f of 2. 2 is here. And my graph at this point passes through this point. This is my second point. So the value of this point is also 1 divided by f of -1. -1 is this point. X is -1, right? My third x is -1. So I'm at this point and my graph passes around here. Yeah, it's not ideal graph, but let's take it as it is here. Let's imagine. So my graph passes through this point, and the value of this point, I mean the value of y of this point is just -2. So I'm just taking the y values of each point. 3 plus 4 divided by -2, and it gives me just -2. So the value of this expression, the given one, this one, this expression is nothing but -2. Yep, plus. Now domain and range. First I'm gonna explain what is domain and what is range in simple words. Domain, dx, and range, uy. Domain and the range are, so domain is the set of possible values of x, and range is a set of possible values of y. So domain is the values of x, range is the values of y. So we can find domain and range both mathematically and graphically. So let's consider both ways. First, mathematically. So let's imagine I have this function, f of x equals to, say, how to say, x, I'm going to consider three functions here, okay? X plus or minus, doesn't matter, -5. So in this case, there is no restriction for x, no restriction. So x can be any value. So the value of x can be any number, doesn't matter, 0, 1, -5, -1000, plus million, billion, doesn't matter. So that's why, as there is no restriction, so the dx will be just from -infinity to +infinity. That's all. That is all. Second type. Oh, the range. The range will be the same. Actually, f of x is y, right? My y depends on x in this case. I'm gonna make it as y, x depends on y. So 5 will go to the other side, y plus 5 equals to x. So this is also linear function. That's why there is also no restriction for y, and the range will be from -infinity to +infinity. So this is first function, first type. Second type, b. Let's consider rational function. So my f of x equals to 3x minus 1 divided by 4x plus 2. Yeah, this type of function. Here I have a restriction for the value of x. The denominator that is under this fraction cannot be 0. So we cannot divide a number by 0. If you try to divide by using calculator, you will get an error. So you cannot divide a number by 0. So what is under here? So in the denominator, what is in the denominator should not be equal to 0. So this can be solved as just simple equations. So x is not equal to minus 2 over 4, or that is just 1.5. That is just 1 over 2. So in this case, dx can be written as all real numbers except for this one. Except for this one. All the rest can be answer, but this cannot be an answer. So this is not the value of x. X cannot be equal to minus 1 over 2. So I have all the numbers from negative infinity to this number, yeah, union from this number to positive infinity. So I'm just leaving this value in here from negative infinity to this one. So it can be, let's say something like this, minus 1,000. A lot of numbers. Here we have minus million, billion, and etc. Let's say minus 1, also numbers, minus 1 over 2, etc., etc. Plus 1,000, etc. So I have to leave this value. It doesn't belong to the domain. So I have to leave this one. So I'm starting from negative infinity, from negative very big number to from negative infinity to this one. I'm leaving this number. So from this one to positive infinity. So from negative infinity to minus 1 over 2. From minus 1 over 2 to positive infinity. So yeah, this is all. You shouldn't be worried about how to find the range of this function now. We will cover it later, not now, okay? So no worries about it. Oops. Now I'm gonna show you quadratic function. C, let's say. I have this one, x squared minus 4, right? So you can find domain. Yeah, domain is just from negative infinity to positive infinity because there is no restriction for x. It's not a rational function, or it's not under the square root, or it's not logarithmic function, right? So there is no restriction for x. Okay, so it will be just all real numbers, or from negative infinity to positive infinity. But to find the range, we have to think. Let's try some numbers. Yeah? Let's put some numbers here. As a first x, I want to try minus 5. Yeah, minus 5. So what will be f of x? Minus 5 squared is 25. 25 minus 4 is 21. All right. X2, 0. So f of x equals to 0 squared, 0, 0 minus 4 is just negative 4. And third value is just 5. F of x will be 5 squared is 25. 25 minus 4 is just 21. So, guys, just listen. X squared, yes? The square of any number will be positive number. Any number. Square of negative number will be positive. Square of positive number will be also positive. So I have already shown you that we will write from smaller number to bigger number. From smaller one to the biggest one. So at -5, my y value is 21. But at 0, 0 is bigger than -5. But its y value is -4. That is less than 21. So just remember, just by now, just remember, yeah? When we will cover parabolic functions in 8th grade, you will be just able to draw the function and find it graphically easily. So by now, the минимальная, minimum value of x squared is just 0. That's all. The minimum value of x squared is 0. 0, the minimum value is 0. 0 minus 4 is -4. So we are starting from -4, going to, so the maximum value is just infinity. All right, if we go to infinity, infinity squared is infinity. Negative infinity squared is also positive infinity. All right, cool. Now, how to define the domain and range graphically? X, Y. Let's consider something like this, right? I'm just gonna take random points, and this is -4, let's say, -1, 3, let's say 7. This is, let's say, -2. Random points, guys, okay? If you are given a graph and you are asked to find the domain and the range, you will be given exact numbers, right? So I'm just taking the random numbers in this case. Let's take 4. So to find dx first, let's find dx. Dx is the values, I mean, domain is the values of x, right? So I already told you that I'm gonna write from minimum value to maximum value. My graph, this graph, let me just make it red, right? The graph. So this is my red graph. Oh, so my red graph. Yeah, this is my red graph. So I have to find the values of, I mean, domain and range. Listen carefully. So I always will go from negative side to the positive one. Let's say we are going along a road. Мы идем по этой тропинке, хорошо? По OX. So, we are going, we reached this point. То есть мы дошли до сюда. Если смотреть, if we look at above or under us, there is no graph. Graph hasn't started yet. Yes? And if we reach this point, let's imagine I'm here now. То есть я здесь примерно. Хорошо? У меня график здесь и начинается. So my graph is starting here. So this will be the starting point for x. Это стартовая точка по x. So I'm going, идем дальше по этой тропинке. Допустим, мы дошли до сюда. Да? Если смотреть вверх, там нету графика. А внизу есть. То есть график у нас продолжается. So my graph is just continuing. I have reached, let's say, this point. I'm looking above me. There is a graph that is continuing. So I'm going. Мы идем дальше. Если дойдем до этой точки, да, и сделаем один шаг вперед, графика уже не будет. То есть в этой точке, наверху и внизу, там нету графика. So there is no graph. То есть у меня вот эта точка, вот это и есть ending point of x. So my graph starts from this point and ends at this point. So what is the starting point of x? It is -4. From -4 to +7. То есть наш график лежит в этом промежутке. С минус 4 начинается, заканчивая с 7. Вот, в этом интервале. Теперь это по x. Это по x. So now we are going. I'm just deleting this man. So now we are going from y, from negative y above, right? То есть мы идем по y, начиная с минуса, идем в плюс. То есть минус бесконечности в плюс бесконечность. Смотрите, если мы дойдем до этой точки, смотрим налево и направо, там нету графика. График еще нет. Дошли до этой точки, да, допустим, до этой точки. Смотрим налево, графика нет. Вот видите, вот прямо смотрим, прямо. Графика нет. Смотрим в другую сторону, график здесь и начинается. Вот здесь. То есть это стартовая точка Y. So this is the starting point for Y. So we are going to positive side, going here, and let's imagine I'm here at this point. If I look at my left side, there is no graph, doesn't matter. But if I look at my right side, there is a graph continuing. То есть, если смотреть в эту сторону, тут по сути нету графика. Окей? Ну, по сути, примерно. А если смотреть в другую сторону, график еще продолжается. Поэтому идем дальше. Да, идем и дошли до этой точки. So we have reached this point. If I look at the left side, there is no graph. If I look at right side, here is a graph. Тут у меня есть график. Если я сделаю еще один шаг вперед и смотрите, графика уже не будет. То есть вот эта точка у меня ending point of y, то есть концовка. Окей? Вот эта точка ending point y. То есть у меня y откуда начинается? Начиная с минус 2, по y смотрим, с минус 2 до from negative 2 to positive 4. Надеюсь, вам понятно, да? То есть смотрим, где у нас график лежит. И по y, и по x. Вот. Чисто визуально можно найти сразу. Это я вам просто объяснил, что типа можно идти по тропинке и смотреть налево, направо, вверх, вниз, и там откуда он начинается, откуда заканчивается. То есть так вы можете делать пока что. Но потом вы уже должны сразу, смотря в график, сразу найти dx и y. То есть с до, from to, с минус 4 до 7, с минус 2 до 4. Вот так. Это как найти графический domain и range. Дальше идем. Let's go to the fourth point. Finding x from table and plotting the graph. So let's say you will be given a table and the values of x and y. So let me think. Minus 2, minus 1, 1, 2. So you will be given something like this. This is, let's say, first point, second point, third point, and fourth point. Let's consider any. Вы можете взять любую из этих 4 точек. Любую. Давайте рассмотрим две точки. So let's consider 2 points. The first one and the fourth one. No, let's take first and third one. So they are different numbers. So if you remember, in our classroom, we have covered this linear function, y equals to mx. M is a coefficient. Yeah? In Kazakh, it will be буршток коэффициент. Угловой коэффициент на русском. На английском gradient называется. Gradient. So, we have to find first m. So, I have x as negative 2 and the y equals to 4. I'm just putting the values of y and x instead these two variables. So, m is just 4 divided by negative 2. So it gives me -2. So this result I got from first point. Let's consider third point. I will get the same value of m. So -2 equals to m multiplied by 1. So m equals to -2 divided by 1, it is -2. То есть, если возьмем первую или третью, любую из этих точек мы должны получить одинаковое значение m. То есть и здесь -2, и здесь -2. So, my function is just -2x. То есть у меня оригинальная функция это -2x. Теперь давайте построим график этой функции. Смотрите. Давайте сюда. Okay. So, I'm just using this coordinate system. X, y. So my function is -2x. A little bit taller. This is y. Here, 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 here. So I need, so as you remember in the classroom, I have told you that to plot the graph of linear function, you will need a minimum of 2 points. So minimum 2 points is enough to plot the graph of linear function. So I'm going to take 2 points. Let's take the second and third point. So -1 and 2. -1 x, так, just a minute. So -1 and 2. -1 and 2 is here, this point. 1 and -2. 1 and -2. Right here. So I'm gonna just connect these 2 points. То есть мы взяли две точки вот здесь, да? Окей, я взял именно вторую и третью точку. Почему? Потому что вот здесь 4. 4 это слишком большая цифра. То есть, конечно, вы можете взять и 4, -2 и 4 будет вот здесь, вот, например, да? То есть мне, то есть не только мне, чтобы построить график линейной функции, мы должны взять, не то что должны, а я вам рекомендую взять минимальное значение x и y, окей? То есть не 4, там, не 7, не 10, а лучше возьмите маленькие значения, окей? И потом вы взяли две точки, положили линейку вдоль вот этих двух точек и соединили эти две точки, вот так скажем, ну, карандашем, да? И то, что мы получили, вот этот график, и есть график вот этой функции. Вот. То есть вот этот график, это график функции y равно -2x. Вот. So I'm gonna repeat. So I will highly recommend you to work with minimum numbers. So you don't need to take this 4 or -4. They are quite big numbers. So I want to work with small numbers, right? Like 1 and 2, -1 and -2, doesn't matter. So I'm taking second and third point. This is second point, this is third point, this is the first point. All right? And I have these 2 points. I will put my линейка across along these 2 points. Yeah, let's say these 2 points are here, and I'm gonna just connect these 2 points by ruler. I'm gonna take my ruler and put it along the 2 points, these 2 points, and just connect these 2 points with my pen. And the graph that you will get is a graph of this function. That's all. Next, this is done. Plotting the mx+n graph. Okay, easy. 5. Let's consider I have this type of function. Y equals to minus 4x plus 3, right? So this type of function. So I've already told you that in order to plot a graph of a function, I need at least minimum 2 points. And I'm gonna take the values of x, 0 and 1. You can take the values of x on your own. And I highly recommend you to take 0 and 1 in most of the cases because they are small numbers and easier to work with small numbers. So if I put the value of x to my function, y equals to -4 multiplied by 0 plus 3. So minus 4 multiplied by 0 is just 0. 0 plus 3 is just 3. So my first y value will be 3. Second, minus 4 multiplied by this 1 plus 3. So minus 4 plus 3 will be just negative 1. So I have now 2 points. And I can easily plot the graph of this function. Let me put the video here. X, Y. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 0 and 3. It is this point. X is 0, y is 3. I'm going above. 1 and minus 1. 1 and minus 1. This point. So I'm gonna put the ruler across these 2 points and just connect them. Something like this. Yeah. This is the function, or I mean the graph of this function. So I have 2 points and I have connected these 2 points by my pen, just by putting my ruler along these 2 points. So guys, actually this is all what we have covered in the first and second week, and you will be writing a test on this material. So I'm going from here, I'm gonna scroll. Yeah, just scrolling. Just look at it. So that's all. So I think I have covered everything that we have that we had in first 2 weeks. This is just, I'm just recording this one for myself, то есть это я снимаю просто для себя, и надеюсь, вам поможет это. Все задачи будут примерно похожими на эти задания, и поэтому просто посмотрите. Okay? Just watch this video. Все, на этом все. Спасибо, до свидания, до встречи.